Hi, so I've had a request to do a little quick video on how to get yourselves set up with Google Webmasters or Google Console. We actually need to get that happening in order to be able to, submit your index or your site to your Kajabi site to Google so that it can be found, and it also helps with your SEO. So what we need to do, the very first thing you need to make sure of is that you already have a Google or a Gmail account. I've got a test account here that I've gone and set up. But if you don't have one, you'll need to go and set that up first. So you need to make sure you have a Gmail account in order for this to work. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do a Google search for Google Webmasters Tools, or otherwise, you'll see that one comes up here, Google Search Console, or Google Webmasters. So either of those you can click into. So we're going to click into Google Search Console, and it'll take you into this. And what we want to do is we want to start now, because we're going to create an account that says welcome. So what is the site URL? So this is where you would type in your URL or your domain name for your Kajabi site that you have. And then you're going to click add property. So first up it says we need to verify ownership of that particular URL. And there's a couple of different ways that Google will tell you that you can do this. They recommend uploading an HTML file to your website. I don't ever use that one. My personal preference is to actually add an HTML tag into our homepage, because we're actually able to do that very easily on Kajabi. So that's what I want you to do. You're going to open up the HTML tag, add a meta tag, and then where it says in this area here, you're going to copy that. So what we want to do is highlight all of the data that's in that box, and you're going to copy it. And then what we're going to do is hop on over to where you have your Kajabi site. Hop on into Kajabi, and you're going to go into the settings area and then site details. And you're going to scroll down, and you're going to see a section where it says page scripts, and where it says header page scripts, and then you're going to paste in the copied code that you just took from Google Console, and then you're going to hit save. And what that's doing is it's basically putting that particular piece of code onto every single page just under the header area in your site, which is what Google needs to be able to recognize that, yes, okay, that's the site we're talking about. So then we're going to pop back on over to our Google Search Console setup, and we're going to go verify. And then Google will go and actually search your website now, or your URL, to go looking for that piece of code that you just placed on. If it's successful, you're going to see this, ownership verified. And then we're going to go to property. Okay, now it's going to come up looking like this, and you're not going to have any data or information in there because we haven't actually set it up. So that's what we need to do now. We now need to actually set it up and submit your sitemap to Google Console so that it knows where to go looking for your site. So you're going to click on sitemaps, and then once you get here, you're going to type in the following. You're going to type in SITE sitemap and then full stop XML, and then you're going to hit submit. So basically what we're telling is we know that that's what Kajabi's sitemap is stored under, and it's always the same. So it's just your domain or your URL up front, followed by sitemap.xml, and then you're going to hit submit. So Google will go looking for it, and it will tell you that it's found it successfully. Okay, and it's discovered 5 URLs on there right now, which is great. So there's nothing else we need to do at this point in time, because we've now told Google this is our site, this is where you need to go and find it. Okay, as far as coming back over, what you'll do periodically is pop on into the overview and then performance, and you can just sort of have a little look. It'll show you, obviously we don't have any information or data in here to be able to look at any of this, but it normally takes maybe 48 hours to start populating data, and once you know it's in there, you'll start seeing all the data start populating in here. It'll show you, like, if there is ever any errors with your sitemap, it'll come up saying that there's an error, so keep an eye on that. The settings, there's not really much to do. It just says that we've been verified and who has permission to access this particular account. Links, again, if there were any links from other sites that were linking to ours, it would show up here, but again, there's no data yet because we've only just done this. I'm going to click back out over here, and what I wanted to show you is this is what, so if you were to go and type in your URL, like your website URL, and then the sitemap.xml, this is currently now what you have just sent to Google. So everything that is on here is what Google is then going to say, oh, okay, yes, I know this site, and these are the pages that I'm going to start storing or caching so that whenever people are searching for them, I know what to pull up. So if you ever need to see what Kajabi has stored, so that's one way of doing it. The other way to do it, and it's probably not the best because we don't, like I said, because it's a test account and I don't really have any data in here, the best way to do it is like this. So if you type in the word site and then just type in your normal domain name, I'm going to use my full one because I know that there's actually data already in here, and then you hit enter. So it can see here that Google has actually indexed 45 pages from my Penny in Your Pocket site, and that's what it will look like. So once Google starts populating your domain name, you'll start seeing, or once it starts indexing pages, you'll see them start to appear here if you do exactly that, site, colon, and then your domain name afterwards. So that's another really good way of being able to test to make sure that it actually has picked it up, and you can see the pages, and also it'll also show you on there like the words that are being picked up. So that's another really good test for you to do, to go and actually have a look at your page titles or your page descriptions and make sure that the words or the sentences being used in there are ones that your prospective customers or clients may be typing into to Google, because as we know, that's what Google's picking up. Google is picking up and trying to reference or match to the words that your prospective clients are typing in. So you want to be able to try and do the same with your page names and your descriptions of each of those pages. So keep that in mind as well. But that is how you actually set up Google Search Console. There's nothing else to do. Like I said, sit back, wait for Google to start indexing, and then come back into your Google Search Console from time to time and just have a look to see what the performance is, what pages are being picked up. If pages are being picked up, Google will also show you what keywords and things are being used by people. So it's another really good tool that you can use. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. That was just, like I said, a quick tutorial on how to actually set up Google Search Console. Remember to bookmark the page or bookmark Google Search Console so you can come back to it and refer to it when you need to.